With a russet gold short coat, the Hungarian Vizsla gundog has a striking appearance, especially when they're pointing for game, or a bee or squirrel in my dog's case. When he greets you, he gently and playfully holds your wrist in his mouth, which is normal for Vizslas to do. He's a dog that needs your company and wants to be part of the family. Out and about, he rarely stays out of your sight for long and doesn't stray too far. If you're wondering whether dog then kids or kids then dogs, well, our first Vizsla was 9 when baby number 1 came along, and he'd calmed down a lot. Vizslas are a sensitive breed, and when the baby came home and the crying began, Indy was terrified. He'd run up the stairs every time he heard the wah-wahs. A few months later and he was used to the noise, and he soon bonded with my first child. He was very loving and gentle with her, and always with his head on her lap. Along came baby brother, and Indy was fine hearing crying. The only problem was in Indy's last years, when he was about 13-14. We had to be careful with our young son because he was very boisterous and always jumping on him, and he was in a lot of pain by then and would sometimes nip out in defence. 2 years later, and the kids at an ideal age, aged 6 and 8, and we decided to get another one. We thought they're not too small for the bouncy Vizsla puppies to knock them over now, but it was a little harder making the time and having the patience to train a Vizsla with kids running around acting crazy. Luckily, they are relatively easy dogs to train anyway. Vizslas don't really like the wet weather, and every time it's raining and I need my dog to go out for a wee, I often have to carry him out. And sometimes even then he'll just go and hide round the side of the house so that he's sheltered from the wall, but he doesn't actually have a wee. But he does need a wee, and it's just a battle to get him to go because of the weather. And if you're out when it's raining on a walk, he'll whine and he'll try and hide somewhere. As you can see from the video, I've got this nice little coat. It seems to have done the trick. He's stopped whining. What habits does your Vizsla have? And do you think they're quite similar to mine? Please make a comment below. You may want to keep your puppy in the kitchen or the hall at bedtime, but you can soon give in to these Vizsla Velcro dogs, because they really do like to be by your side. Sleep by your side and sometimes sleep on you. As a puppy, my Vizsla would plonk himself on my head in the night to be comfy and warm. When he's super tired and you want him to move off your bed, he can turn into a lead balloon if you try to budge him. I'd love to hear other people's opinions, just to know whether my Vizsla's characteristics are true to type and how yours differ. Feel free to comment below. And if you like this video, please subscribe. Now, Vizslas are funny because of their split personality. On one hand, they're brave and protective of you, barking like a good guard dog, but on the other hand, they tend to be scared over funny little things. For example, my first Vizsla was terrified of a Tasmanian devil ornament. The first time he saw it, he ran off, ears set back and tail tucked in. Then he would bark at it whenever we got it out of the cupboard. Now, of our current Vizsla, Forrest, he's always been rather skittish and jumpy, and as a puppy it took him a while to get used to things. People would mistake him for a ridgeback because his hackles were always up. He'd get frightened by a leaf falling or a branch breaking. So it's something to consider if you're thinking of getting this breed. You need to be patient and give them as much exposure to all kinds of situations and noises. Vizslas need a good bit of discipline when training, and you need to be assertive with them, but they don't do well if you're getting angry and shouting at them, as they're very sensitive, and this could create some behavioural issues. Too much discipline could cause him to become stubborn and get bored easily. They're an intelligent dog, so short spells of discipline along with a lot of praise and petting when he does do something correctly works really well. Vizslas are very patient and persistent beggars, and my one doesn't drool actually. And yes, I do let them lick the plate, but they do get washed.